Good evening, everyone. My name is Silva Damiguru. I'm a member of Streams of Grace Church. Yeah, I want to thank God for what He did for me through the ministry of our man of God, Pastor Gabriel Prosper. Sometime 2 weeks ago, I fell ill, and at first I thought it was malaria, so I was treating malaria. I was taking malaria drugs, taking paracetamol and painkillers. So, I thought it was malaria at first, but a day came, I discovered that I could not taste, neither could I smell. So I lost my taste and my smell. I was trying to eat the food I bought, and I discovered I could not taste the food, and I could not taste the smell. There was even a point I was trying to see if I could perceive the smell of things around, and I realized that I could not even perceive anything at all. The next day, I tested Pastor. I sent him a test, and I told him, "Sir, I've been sick for some time now, and I think I lost my taste and smell." So that the pastor called me and prayed for me, declared over my life, and I said amen. I believed, but at that time I didn't know what was wrong. I knew I had lost my taste and smell. So that they were trying to mobilize to go for a job in Abia State. So I was trying to get busy and all that. So later that evening, I was supposed to go to our base to get my bag, and prepare for the next day. It was on a Sunday. I was supposed to prepare for Sunday where we'll be going to Abia. When we'll be going to Abia. So when I got to the base, I was trying to climb our staircase so I can get to the top floor. As I was trying to climb, all of a sudden I realized that I lost all my energy. I could not even walk. I just fell on the floor, and at that point I didn't even know what was going on. I knew I was there was no energy in my body at that point. So I called for help, and someone came down and they helped me up, and they took me upstairs, and I called Pastor again and I told him what was going on. And Pastor said I should not be afraid. In his words, he said nothing is going to happen to you. That was what Pastor said to me. Nothing is going to happen to you. So I said amen. I believed, and he told me to go to the hospital to go and do a test. So that evening, my friends came. They took me to an hospital, in Port Harcourt, and while we were there, they gave me drip. At that point in the hospital, in fact, I was so restless. There was a point in the hospital where there was no saliva in my mouth. My mouth was completely dry. Like at that point, it felt like I was going to lose it felt like my heart was going to stop beating, because I didn't know what was going on. I was just restless. I was feeling weak. I could not lie down. I could not sit down. At that point, and they did the test. They were giving me drip, and they collected my blood sample, and they did the test, and the result came out that day, and it showed that I was COVID-19 positive. So after some point in the hospital, the doctor came, and the doctor said that they cannot manage the case at that time. So they recommended me to the teaching hospital over here in Port Harcourt. So late that night, I think around 10 or so, we got up, we drove to the hospital. At that point, I could not even walk for long distance. I could not walk at all. My friends had to carry me on a wheelchair, and they wheeled me to the car, and we drove to the teaching hospital. When we got there, inside the car, I realized that I was struggling to breathe, because it felt like my chest, my lungs were contracting. I was struggling to breathe. Like every 5 minutes I have to take a very, very deep breath, like very, very deep one, to catch my breath. And I was super worried. So when we got to the hospital, we got there. We told them what was wrong. That was we did a test, and the result says I'm COVID-19 positive. So they took the result. They went inside, and I don't know what they talked about. I think they had a meeting or something. They came out and they said they cannot admit me at the hospital. That the place is filled. That they can't admit me. That the only place I can be admitted that day, if I could go to Benin, that's UBTH. We begged. My friends were begging, and they did nothing. And after some point, I just looked up and I said, God, now it's just you. I don't know what I'm going to do now. We got into the car. We were driving back home. So it was very late at that time. one of the doctors collected our numbers and he sent some medications for us to buy, but it was so late that there was no even pharmacy that was open. When we were driving back, we drove back home. When we got to I was laying down on the chair, trying to catch my breath, trying to sleep. I could not sleep. Everything was just spinning. I was struggling so hard to breathe. In fact, I was crying at that point. All of a sudden, Pastor just called. I think around 11 or something. Pastor called. And Pastor said, "How are you?" And I said, "Sir," I told him what was wrong. I told him, "Sir, I'm struggling to breathe. Like I can't breathe." And I told him the result came out and it says COVID-19. Pastor laughed. Pastor laughed, like more like he giggled, and he started praying for me. He declared over my life. He prayed for me and say a lot of words, declared so many things. And at the end of the prayer, I said I should say Amen 3 times. I said Amen. And I believed. I said, because then I didn't. There was no option. Like the only place where I thought they could have given me a good treatment, they are telling me they can't admit me at that point. So I was really tired. When Pastor was done praying, declared over my life, and I said Amen 3 times. I realized that at that point, at that moment, not 10 minutes later, that exact moment, my lungs, my ribs rather, my chest stopped contracting. I realized that I could even breathe well at that time. As soon as pastors finished praying, and when the call ended, I felt relaxed. I felt at peace, and for the first time I could lie down straight, and my lungs, when my chest was not doing anything, my body was relaxed, my body was not reacting to anything. I felt so much at peace, and I told my friends to get me juice. I took juice later, and I slept off. The next morning when I woke up, I realized that I could pick up the smell of the environment. I could pick up the smell of the environment the next morning when I woke up, and it dawned on me that Bob, you are healed though. You are healed. I quickly tested Pastor. I think I tested Pastor, and I told him, "Sir, I can perceive I can pick up the smell of the environment now." I quickly ran to the bathroom and I tried to use the toothpaste, and I realized, okay, I could even taste the toothpaste now. So that was how everything happened. Like I don't even know what would have happened that day if Pastor had not called, because at a point I was like, Lord, is this the end? So I really want to thank God. I want to thank our man of God, Pastor Gabriel Prosper. I really wished I was there in person to give this testimony. I really wished I was. I want to thank God for our man of God. We have a prophet in our midst. That is there's no argument about that. And the miraculous, the healing power of God is so much evident in the life of our man of God. And whatever our pastor says, whatever he prays, whatever he says, it comes to pass. This is not the first time. This is not the second time. I was at last night of miracle, and I saw so many deaf ears go open, and the same miraculous power of God has healed me from COVID-19. The same virus that has killed so many all over the world, around the world, in India, the same virus. And as soon as our pastor spoke, the virus became powerless, and today I'm healed. As you can see, I'm currently in the field, the same field I was supposed to go that time. I'm currently in the field now. I really want to bless God. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Pastor Sir. Thank you, Ma. I really appreciate your prayers, your words, your teachings, and everything. Thank you very much, sir.
The Almighty is your prosperity. The Almighty is your increase. How am I sure I'm going to have my miracle? He said Jesus died as a chastisement of your peace. The sacrifice for your prosperity was on Jesus. It has been paid. There is a blood that is speaking over you, saying that you don't fail. You don't fail. It is not you to fail. There is a blood speaking over you.